Hello, my friends. This is Otaku Cooks, and today I'm making chicken and sausage jambalaya. This recipe is by the courtesy of Chef Isaac Tubes. So let's get right into it. Unlike mirpoa, which is the base of French cuisine consisting of onions, carrots, and celery, the base of Cajun cuisine is the Holy Trinity, consisting of onions, bell peppers, and celery. So, for our recipe, what we need to do is give our Trinity a rough dice. Not too big, not too small, just a medium dice would be perfectly fine. It doesn't matter how you prepare it. What's more important is when you prepare it, because you need to keep this ready before you make the roux. In fact, you need to keep this right next to you while you're preparing the roux, because when this gets to its dark stages, and that is exactly what we want, it will burn. So, to prevent that, you need to act quick and you need to keep your material ready right next to you so that nothing wrong happens and you don't have to start over again. Now, when it comes down to getting the ingredients, I think you won't have any problem. For the most part, you can get onions and bell peppers very easily, and you don't even have to stick to green bell peppers. You could use yellow and red. Although the yellow and red variety is a little sweet, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you have peppers, it's okay. The only ingredient that would be difficult to get would be celery, because not every vendor has it to begin with. Although I was still able to get this from a local vegetable vendor, so you can obviously try to get it, but your best option is to order it online. Now, if you still can't get it, that's fine. You can add a little more onion and a little more bell pepper. The point is to work with what you have. It doesn't really matter that much. Yes, it will affect the flavor, but it will still taste good. Don't forget to add the chili. I'm using a big one, seeds in and everything. But you could remove the seeds, or if you like it hot, add some more chilies. But don't skip on the garlic. The garlic is considered as the pope of Cajun cuisine. It plays a very important role in enhancing the flavor of your dish, and it tastes amazing. So, unless you're allergic to garlic, I would highly recommend that you add a good amount of it. For my protein, I'm using pork sausages and chicken, the whole chicken. But you can just use the thighs, that's fine. Apply some salt on your chicken and sear them in a hot pan or pot, skin side down. Over here I am using peanut oil, but you could use any oil of your liking as long as it's neutral and it has a high smoking point. Our goal here is to create a beautiful fond at the bottom and give the chicken nice roasty flavor. Make sure that you don't overcrowd the pan. It is preferable that you cook your chicken in batches, 2 or maybe 3 pieces per batch. That way you will get a really good color on your chicken as well as those roasty flavors that come with it. Once our chicken is done, we can start with our roux. Now, making a roux is not that difficult. You just have to follow some key rules. Rule number one, you have your ingredients right next to you. Rule number two, you keep your eye on the roux. Rule number three, you don't stop moving your hand. And rule number four, if you are a beginner, start slow, have a low flame, and take your time. There is no rush. So take as much time as you want and be careful with it while moving it because the roux gets really hot and you don't want any accidents to happen. That's about it when it comes down to the rules of jambalaya. Now, this is the only, and I mean the only complicated part about this recipe because after this, it's just a cakewalk. So, if you can pull this off, your jambalaya is as good as done. You have to look at some visual cues. Initially, it will stay blonde, but soon enough, it will get brown, and this is where it stays the longest. But here's the problem, as soon as it gets dark, the window is very small and it burns rather quickly. So, your best option is to have a good nose on it because as soon as you start smelling something is burning, that is when you have to be ready to add your ingredients. Okay, now that our roux is done, we can add our trinity. Now make sure that you don't add your chilies and garlic with your trinity because they will burn as this roux is extremely hot. And as soon as you add your trinity, keep stirring. But the fact is that this cooks very easily. So if your hand is tired, you don't have to worry about it that much. You can also do is switch off your stove just before adding your vegetables. That way you won't risk stumbling and making a mess. Once your vegetables start cooking and your roux cools down a bit, you can add your chilies and your garlic. After that, add 1 bay leaf, give it a little stir, and then add 1 tablespoon of chili powder, red chili powder, and 1 tablespoon of paprika powder. Any paprika would do, smoked, Hungarian, whatever you have. And if you don't have paprika or you just don't want it spicy or hot, you don't have to add it. Once you're done with that, add your sausages. Saute them a little, and once you're done with that, add your chicken stock. Now, this dish is as good as your chicken stock. So, if you have great chicken stock, it is going to taste amazing. Stir in your roux nicely so that it dissolves properly in your stock. Make sure that you scrape all the corners of your pan or your pot, whatever you're using. And once you're done with that, add a nice punch of black pepper. And yes, I said punch, not pinch, because you would like to add a lot of it. After that, add 1.5 to about 2 cups of rice. Stir well, and then add your chicken and any juices that has come out of it. Don't waste those juices, that is flavor. After that, season it with salt.
Now cover it with a lid and let it cook for about 30 to 35 minutes. Honestly, the cooking time completely depends on the amount of rice and the quality of rice that you're using. But it should take you around 30 minutes. Also, you have to remember that you need to stir in the rice at least once or twice while it's cooking because you don't want the bottom to burn or to stick. So give it a stir like once or twice. And yeah, that's about it. Your jambalaya is pretty much ready. Now, last but not the least, just add in some butter, stir it in, and your jambalaya is ready. Plate it and enjoy. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Otaku Cooks. Bye.